Joining me is Dr. Svetlana Romenko, founder director of Razom We Stand. Dr. Romenko, has the West betrayed Ukraine?
Good afternoon, Ali, and everyone. Thank you so much for having me here during such significant times, actually, in our history, because just wanted to remind that Munich Security Conference is still on, and we are monitoring it closely. And answering your question, I would say that being betrayed and having the sense of betrayal are slightly different things, and I'll try to explain it from two angles. The first one is, yes, we do have a sense that West has betrayed Ukraine, but a while ago, since April 2022, when the first Russian fossil fuel banning measures were put in place, and as we know, they were extremely slow, insufficient, weak, and even now within the 16th sanction package, which is on the table literally right now to go out on 24th of February, it does not contain the LNG ban and gas ban. Can you believe that? 16 sanction packages, almost 3 years of the most horrific, atrocious war in the midst of Europe. And it's not yet still there. And I truly believe that if not that betrayal, mostly led by Germany, I have to acknowledge this because, we are so tired to enormously put an enormous effort right now in Brussels advocating for a full ban with all diplomatic institutions with no success, because success is blocked not by Hungary, not by Slovakia, but by Germany itself. And that means that Western leaders have been extremely they showed up as extremely hypocritical while understanding what's needed to defeat Putin much sooner than now, and probably to avoid having us all together in this moment in a sense of frustration and insecurity for our future. But they could have dealt with the Putin terrorist regime much sooner with, as I said, a fully banning Russian fossil fuels, especially gas, but also with cutting all the economic ties and financial ties to the Russian economy, which would really drain the Russia's military potential much sooner. And probably we would not have found ourselves now seeing, and me particular, I am used to consider myself a climate woman leader or so, and now I can see as a few wealthy, white, high-class elite, political elite individuals are trying to take on deciding the fate of millions in Ukraine and Europe. So
yeah, understood.
Yeah.
I know, I understand, and thank you very much for being so open about it. You mentioned the fact that the Western powers have not really, you hinted at this in your answer, have not really been open with the amount of effort and commitment that would have to be put in to defeat Russia. Defeat Russia meaning withdraw from all territory to the pre-2014 borders. Why do you think, and do you feel that you've been sold a pup by the West, that they have basically talked a good game, but they haven't got their own publics on side for the long haul, and for the fact that you actually have to suffer, build up your military armaments and give you whatever you need to actually win rather than simply avoid defeat?
Yes, right you are, in a way that, of course, we've not been provided all means and tools to fight an aggressor properly. And of course, the population of the countries, of the Western countries, including the polls that we've seen in the Telegraph just recently, they were quite manipulated because the real numbers of the real support that has been provided are not matching the ambitions that has been outspoken, even now with the US saying they spend huge amount of billions, which is currently not true. And I do believe that if the Western leaders would impose strong political decisions and provided all necessary help, but I mean also economically fight Russia, as I said, and cutting all ability for them to fund the war of aggression, we would have succeeded altogether. For now, I think this is not yet lost finally, but Europe has to wake up and has to understand that this cold shower that has been just done by the US during the Munich Security Conference is probably going to be permanent, and we need to build our own independency. But for me, as Ukrainian and as many of our country, it's not acceptable to give up on our sovereignty and also territorial integrity.
So if it's not acceptable to give up on sovereignty and territorial integrity, which is exactly what's going to happen, I'm afraid, do you think that the Ukrainian government should conscript 18 to 25-year-olds in this fight?
I can't think of the government. What I can hear from the government, what they declare, they stay strong on the position that they would aim to protect, that's full sovereignty, not exchange for these rare metals and minerals without the real energy security guarantees, which were not provided on the table. But I still think that the negotiations won't happen without Ukraine involved.
Well, I hope not. But what about the point about conscription for 18 to 25-year-olds?
It's been now what is happening in the country. The contracts were offered, which are voluntarily and really looking attractive for that type of age. But we do still think that those 18-year-old are former, like yesterday's children, and they are not yet prepared to fight at the battlefield effectively. But with that said, I would say that it's not a way just to really kill more Ukrainians of how we win. It's a way of a strong political and also economical support of how we win, and European unity and integrity, because Europe has to wake up finally and do whatever they can to protect their interests, because it's not just about Ukraine, as we know, it's just about European long-term stability, energy independence, and their own democracy.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Dr. Svetlana Romanko there, founder and director of Razom We Stand, a Ukrainian organization active internationally, calling for a total and permanent embargo on Russian fossil fuels.